everyone, welcome back to a new Transformers toy review. I'm Unicron and this is Transformers Age of the Primes Sideways. This is the box. I don't have space, but I'm gonna switch it a little bit around. The box is really nice with some nice artwork right here. You can see it. Oh, there we go. That looks really nice with Decepticon logo right here, spaceship mode. You know, you got some really nice side right here. And I really like how it has the whole Cybertron Robots in Disguise logo right here from the trilogy. I wish it kind of had more of on the Armada too. Like, I don't remember if Red Alert Prime had the Armada logo on it, so I thought it was cool though that they put the logo right here, and they have more Age of the Primes type steel right here. I do want to say something. This guy, these legs look like the Rhinox from Studio Series. I'm not sure, but they kind of look like resemble it. I have Studio Series Rhinox from the Rise of the Beast, so it kind of looks like it, but that's just my imagination, right? So let's take a look at the figure. So here we have Transformers Cybertron Sideways. Now, first of all, let's take a quick look at detail on this guy. This guy looks really nice. I really do like him. I thought he was going to be more like a just kind of plain, not very fun to play with around, but he does look really cool. I do want to get that zoom in on the head. The head looks really nice. I like the little painting on here, like it's like a little golden, and then you got some orange in the visor or the eyes, you know. Same tone of orange on the cockpit of the spaceship and stuff. You have this nice orange. You got some black and then silver on it, and then the feet have some golden in the front. We turn it around. We don't have a lot of kibble right here. It's very plain. Right here, it's a little hollow, I guess, but it doesn't really bother me. Hollowness in the back on Transformers figures doesn't really bother me because most of the time you're facing your toys frontward, you know, you don't really have your toys facing like that. So this kind of hollowness doesn't bug me. There is no hollowness on the legs, only right here, but like I said, it doesn't really show that much. It really doesn't bother me that much, that hollowness on some of the figures, you know. But I know some collectors might complain about it, but you know, it is what it is. You know, this is a deluxe figure. For the accessories, I will take them off first. So we do get his wings. They can detach. So we can take out the articulation. But first I'm going to take off the accessories. I'm going to take this thing off. Now, one thing I want to say that I thought it was cool. This Cyber Planet key looks really, really cool. I have Starscreams right now with me. This is Starscreams. And I do like this nice painting on it, although I do know that his on the original figure was like that. And then here's Starscream, which is a clear plastic. Even Overdrive doesn't have one, but Hotshot does, and it's a clear red plastic. So I do like how they went detail in it and not just gave us like a clear plastic Decepticon like Starscreams, you know, like a clear purple right here. So I'm glad that they went over that. Something that I thought was pretty cool that they kept from the original. You see the Decepticon symbol right here. You have a little clip right here. I'm just going to pull it up. And it turns into an Autobot. And you don't want to be an Autobot? Decepticon. It's pretty cool that they kept that piece on it. So I remember he could do it on the show. So it's pretty interesting. Gimmicks from old figures that are moved into the new, more articulated new figure on new toy lines and stuff. I think it's pretty cool that they do. So it's pretty cool that they kept the gimmick. Now for the articulation on this figure is pretty solid. We have the head on a ball joint. Well, yeah, it's on a ball joint. You can do a 360 and kind of look up and down a little bit. Not that much, but still you can get some good rotation on it. We have the arms on a 360. You can do 360. It gets a little bit in the way with the back wings, but other than that, you're still fine. You can still do the 360. Okay, the arms can go out that much. It can go out more than that, but it's still fine. It doesn't bug me. We have a bend on the elbow, and then we have a twist on the arm, so that's pretty good. It can also bend back, so I thought it was pretty weird but cool, you know. You don't really need that, but it's still cool. And we do have a wrist swivel, which is pretty cool. We do 360 on it, so solid articulation for arms. 360, bend on the arm, rotation on the arm, and swivel on the wrist. So really, really, really nice on this figure with this part. We do have a waist swivel right here. Just gotta move these pieces a little bit to the back. And we do have a waist swivel. You could do the 360. So you could get some really nice poses with that swivel on the waist. So it's pretty good. Now for the legs are a little wobbly. A little bit, kinda. See? They're a little wobbly, but they don't like slide or anything like that. So he has that syndrome of skinny legs. So yeah. And then for the legs, they can go out that much, which is pretty good. That's a really nice front kick. And then they can go out back that much, which is pretty good for that articulation. And they can go out that much. So you can really get some nice... Let me bring these wings back. Ooh, yep. There we go. Solid, 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 solid. Solid articulation on the legs. And then the bend on the leg is a little weird. Because the way the figure is designed, so it kind of looks like the leg is like cricket. And then this is his knee piece. So then there's like... It goes all the way that back due to transformation. But there's like a little hinge that kind of like holds it from bending the whole thing. And then holds it back. So there's like... It's cool that there's like this little piece that kind of holds it from bending the whole thing all the time. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought he was going to be a little heavy from the top side, but he's not. And then we also get some nice ankle tilted, which is pretty good. And then we get some movement on the foot right here. Just go up that much and then go back to the front. And that's due to transformation, but other than that, it still works. Really, really works. Now for accessories, you can put this wing. You can put the wings here on the side of his legs to make it more like the legs on the thicker side, I guess, to give him more depth into the legs, which is pretty cool. You can also put them back in the backpack right here, how they're supposed to go. There's a specific way to go for them. You can tell because the way they tab, you got the rectangle tab and then you got the circular tab. So then obviously you got to go with the circular tab on top and then the rectangle tab on the bottom. So you just kind of tab that in there and then just kind of have it in there. So you can also take this one, take it off. Go ahead, and then that's how he kind of supposed to kind of look with the wings there, which looks kind of cool. I wish you could kind of like fold these a little more on another hinge right here so they can kind of look like that, if that makes sense, kind of like wings. But I guess you can switch them. Let me see if it works. Oh, well, actually, it's still the same result. But that looks cooler, though. The whole silver on this part, so that looks cooler. You can also have them like I had them at the very beginning. You can tab them right here on the side of the legs. You're gonna put the legs on here on the side, just like that. That's pretty cool. Or you can do the super double bladed. The hole on the fist and the tabs on these are small, and these are like, basically there's enough space for you to put both of them in one hand and make it into a nice double bladed blade sword, kind of sentinel type of style blade. So I think this is really cool. I really like this weapon. this type of mode on the weapon looks really sick. And then we have this piece, which, like I revealed earlier, you have the shield that changes from Autobot to Decepticon. And you also have the Cyber Planet key, which there's no tab on the back for you to tab it anywhere, but you can just insert there and there. Obviously it sadly doesn't clip and activates the whole Cyber Planet key. And this can easily attach on his little shoulder right here. Now you can either have it like that, or you can bring these little tabs down and just have more aesthetic, more cooler, I guess, or make it look like that. Either one looks cool. You can have it like that, or you can have it like a bow, or you can have it like a super double, triple, double awesome bow. I don't know. Either one looks cool, but you can use both of these, or just make it as one. So I thought it was pretty cool that you can have it like that. I don't mind it, because with time, the little spring on the figures like these, they turn to like not work anymore, and then you gotta like move it automatically and like move it yourself, and sometimes the spring load messes up the whole figure with time, you know. I had a problem with that, one of those figures like that, so yeah. But maybe I just didn't take care of it, I don't know. But this figure looks amazing. This thing is really, really good. I really like it. Robot mode and accessories are really nice. Now for transformation, I like to remove these pieces off, and then later on we just start selling everything. So let me just remove these. Okay. So for transformation, first I like to bring these little heels on the back, and then just kind of bring them down. And as you bring them down, you collapse the feet. There we go. We're gonna bring these out just like that. And then what we're gonna do is, here, let me bring these down so you can kind of see. We're gonna bring the chest piece. It's gonna open. And then what we're gonna do is bring this, and it's on a little hinge that goes backwards and front. So you can just bring it out like that. Just bring that out like that. So it's gonna be like his neck went to the front, and then you're just gonna collapse this whole section down. Oh, hold on. Gotta rotate it. You're gonna bring this whole section down. And it doesn't really tab anywhere, but it kind of locks in and fills in the void. And then there's these little gaps from the space shuttle. I'll just kind of clip in there, and the head, I do like how the head makes the little pieces on the front of the spaceship, so it's pretty cool that I don't know if the original is that way, but I thought it was pretty cool. Now for the legs, we're still not going to touch them at all, but then we're going to go with the waist. The waist is like on a double hinge right here. You're going to bring this back. So originally your figure is going to be like that. Then what you're going to do is bring the whole thing section down, and then you're going to grab it from the black piece right here, and you're going to bring this whole section down. Just like that. Now what you're going to do, the arms is a little tricky in a way, kind of. But what you're basically going to be doing is just bring this up, and you got to make sure that the tabs are facing the top part. So you're just going to rotate them like that. So like this. That's how it's gonna look. And then these pieces are supposed to fold like that. So your arm should be looking a little bit like that. Same thing over here. So we're gonna bring it down. We're gonna bring it backwards, I mean. We're gonna rotate it to the other side. Make sure the whole of the tab is facing to the inner side of the toy. And the fist is gonna be rotated facing the top part. And then we're just gonna bring these whole section back together in. Just like that. Like that. And at the end, they all tab together. A nice little right here piece, everything. They all tab in there. There's not really anything tabbing to the part top, but the hands and everything pegged together. That's basically it. And then now, when this whole thing is together, you can bring back this piece to the top. That it's gonna go into this hole right here. It doesn't really peg there, but it just kind of like holds in there together. And you're just gonna start. You gotta clip in there. There we go. You gotta kind of like smush it in there so it will peg in there really good. But there we go. And then you're gonna bring the legs. Your leg is gonna be like this. All you gotta do is rotate it outwards, and then it's gonna be facing the front. And then you can start collapsing this whole section here, and then push this in there, because then the feet have some tabs here on the shoulder. We'll tab into the toes right here, and then the ones right here will tab underneath right there. So let's do that first. So then we're just gonna kind of like right there, and a really nice tab right there. They really hold in together, not gonna lie. Really nice tabs there. Just like that. And now we can grab the extra pieces or accessories that we had, and we're just gonna bring them in together. Just gonna bring this one goes over here. Remember, the pointy fingers, the pointy piece is facing the front. So then we're gonna grab the other one. Just like that. Oop. For some reason, this side doesn't like to peg on me. Kind of like pegs out once in a while, but still pretty good. And then this piece, you're just gonna fold them in. And then this little clip right here, you're just gonna bring it up, back up. It's not that hard to get it out. You just gotta use your nail right there. Just get it out. But for the transformation and everything. And then you have the two pegs right here that are gonna clip in into the figure right now. So then you're gonna bring this down. Just like that. Oh really, you don't want to peg now or what? It's like a little weird piece that kind of pegs and kind of doesn't. Actually, take these off and then do this first, honestly. I don't know why it doesn't want to tab. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see if rotating these the opposite way might help. Unless I did these the wrong way. This is hard. I don't think so. Let me see. That's how it was. Oh yeah, that's how it was. My bad. So the fists have to be the opposite way, and they're supposed to be like that, which makes sense. So you can cover the bottom, but then you kind of see the fist right there. So kind of sucks. So now it's holding in there together, I believe. And then we just kind of tap these back in there. Tap these in there. Now this is a really nice spaceship. I really love it. This thing looks super cool. I've been playing with it all day. This thing looks super cool. Yeah. This is really nice. You know, it flies. There's no landing gear. It's a spaceship, so don't expect anything, but it does look awesome. You know, really, really, really nice. Overall, this figure is really, really nice. I really love this. I really like the sideways from Transformers. Overall, this design is really nice, good looking. Compared to the sideways from Transformers Armada, I guess it doesn't really have to do anything. But this design of this Decepticon, this character, is really, really nice. I always liked it. I never got my hands on the old figure though. But I'm glad I got my hands on this one. Now, there was a big problem with Walmart canceling your pre-orders. I was affected by that. I was one of those victims by Walmart. Sadly, they canceled my pre-order. I got this one from my local toy store, like a little collector's toy store. It's not local, it's kind of like 30 minutes away. But I think they do shipping. I'm not sure, but I did pay a little double the price for this figure. I know I tell everybody, you know, don't pay overpriced for new figures that just came out, but I gave in for this one because I've been anticipated. Here is a little size comparison. He's a little dusty, but here's Starscream. There we go. So overall, this figure's great. You can try hunting it at Walmart. I don't know if you'll find it. I found it at a little toy store. I just paid double the price, considering that he's an exclusive, and considering that I don't think Walmart's ever going to restock, because I don't know what happened there with their canceling on the figure. They literally canceled it the last 2 weeks. So throughout the whole time that I had a pre-order, it said it would arrive on June 15. And I kid you not, the day of the June 15, I didn't get anything. And I was like, okay, maybe the next day. Nothing. And then until the third day, they were like, oh, we cancel your order due to unstocked product. Which is kind of dumb, since you were telling me like 3 months in advance that I was going to get it that day. So I had to buy this figure. And if you were Cybertron or a trilogy of the Armada, of the whole trilogy Unicron saga, I think it's worth it. Now, $60, that's what I paid. So I had the money. I was grateful I had the money for it. So I said, you know what, fuck it. So I don't know if you should follow my advice and my personal opinion, but I just love the design and the figure, so I thought it was worth it spending that money, in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to keep that little bell turned on so you get the notifications of a new video. I also got my hands on the DNA upgrade kit for Shockwave Studio Series. So here's a little size comparison with this guy. So, oof. Oh, yikes. There you go. Doesn't want to stand, my guy. So, I mean, he does stand at a pretty good scale right here. You can see how this is Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader. So, he is pretty good scale. So, I forgot to show that. But anyways, please, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and thank you.